Katelyn Tarver, ladies and gentlemen. Katelyn Tarver. Her new album is very, very close to release. It is currently Monday, January 29th, and given the editing, that my editing pace for my videos and my shooting schedule, you're not going to see this for like a week and a half. But I'm going to try to get it out to you as soon as possible. But her new album, singer-songwriter, I think pop, alternative, somewhat genre artist. You might know her from Big Time Rush, and I think that's it. I think she's done other things as well, but from the people that I know, they tell me, oh, Katelyn Tarver from Big Time Rush. I was not privy to Big Time Rush. But yeah, her new album comes out next week. It is Monday, January 29th, as of right now. I did one video talking about Katelyn Tarver. I covered her cinematic visualizer song video. Literally, that's the name of the song, Cinematic. Absolutely fantastic song. Probably one of my favorite songs from her. Maybe my favorite. I don't know. Go check that out. But here, Japanese Cafe. Like, there's another song that I think I like as much as this one, maybe if not a little bit more. But this song right here, I wanted to do it because not only is it, it's part of the album, of course, but this one really, as a guy that cares about music primarily, Katelyn Tarver, like other artists like John Mayer, really make me pay attention to the lyrics. But Japanese Cafe, I think more than any of the other songs, make me pay attention to the lyrics more. And the song is also really good, so I just figured, we'd listen to it and I tell you why it's so awesome. And then maybe you can tell me in the comment section after you listen to the song and say you hate it, which would suck, but maybe you do. If you like it, let me know in the comment section below, because apparently YouTube, you can comment and shit. But anyways, here we go. Katelyn Tarver, Japanese Cafe. It's a pretty cool story behind this song. But here we go. Official audio, reaction, analysis. Let's do it.
He called me pretty, she called me special. Too young for whiskey, drunk on potential. Just like a French maid, Japanese cafe. Singing a song someone wrote. Swing for the fences, be a good sport. Face like a doll, yeah, it's all that you're good for. My biggest fear is I'll disappear it. I got nothing to show. So far down this road. Now I wake up and I look around, and it breaks my heart to have to doubt. Will you still love me if my luck runs out? Will you still love me if my luck runs out? Cause the world keeps turning round and round, like I'm easy to forget about. Will you still love me if my luck runs out? Will you still love me? Will you still? I saw a movie, childhood actress. Googled her name just to see what had happened. She went to college, moved to Missouri, and it kinda made me feel sad. Cause I've been so focused on making it worth it, saying I can't be a regular person. But maybe that actress ended up happy, and she'd look at me and feel bad. Cause I wake up and I look around, and it breaks my heart to have to doubt. Will you still love me if my luck runs out? Will you still love me if my luck runs out? Cause the world keeps turning round and round, like I'm easy to forget about. Will you still love me if my luck runs out? Will you still love me? Will you still love me? Will you, will you, will you, will you love me? Will you still love me? Will you still love me? Will you, will you, will you, will you love me? Will you still love me if my luck runs out?
That's great. Are you insane? I mean, so maybe I was really selfish with with reacting and trying to analyze this song. Maybe a lot of you are not going to care for it. I don't know. This is a very personal song to her. I mean, I think from her social media, the story behind it is, I mean, the cover art for this single is literally her in a French maid outfit singing in a Japanese cafe in Japan. She was basically off the heels of, childhood sort of teenage stardom. And she's trying to basically be, Harry Styles. She's trying to do it. She's trying to become someone, actually, Hannah Montana, right? Miley Cyrus, like that sort of thing, right? And I think she's on tour, she's performing here, and I guess this is a snapshot of her life, and she uses that as the place in time for the song, but basically how she was feeling and what that moment and what she was doing there, what it meant for her life. She used it as a vehicle for this whole song. And sort of the themes of it and what she's trying to go for. This is very interesting. I think it's a very sort of risky thing to do as a songwriter, to go and to do something extremely personal. Like this is a very personal song. Like where like, I don't know, can a lot of people relate being an up and coming star, a childhood actor, actress, a singer, and trying to make it, like not really. Not a lot of people can. Like this is the type of shit that you get from like, I don't know, artists like Kanye West, for example, right? Who write very specific songs that are centered around their lifestyle. Usually a lot of rappers do that, of course. Some pop stars do that. Michael Jackson definitely did it with his Paranoia and Paparazzi. A lot of the songs are centered around his lifestyle. Very, very personal. And I always find it to be a risky thing, and it really has to be really good in order for you to do it because, even someone like Taylor Swift, who I'm not really a huge fan of, she writes her songs, and most of the time they're not extremely personal, at least on the surface. Or at least maybe on the surface they seem to be very personal, but they're extremely relatable because, like I was hearing on this podcast once, talking about a Taylor Swift song, sometimes when you write something so specifically detailed, it becomes very, very relatable. And obviously there's limits, but like something like this, for example, very, very, very personal, something that not a lot of us can relate to. But I can relate to it on a more surface level than other people can, I think. And not because I'm actually famous or there's more nuance to it. I'll get to it. But you can think about it in a like you could, depending on how you look at it, you can relate it to yourself, because we've all felt the way that she has felt in this song, even though we've not gone through exactly what she went through to feel this way. Does that make sense? Okay, so I guess let's first just tackle the song. The song is really, really, really simple. I think that's one of the reasons why it's not as high to me as other songs on that I like from her. But I mean, that within of itself is not a terrible thing. Like this song is almost borderline acoustic. Now that I think about it, when I was listening to it, I think this is the first time I listened to it like with headphones. And I really noticed some great panning, stereo decisions, specifically with the percussion in the latter end of the song. Like it like the percussion just do 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 do, like it went through like from the right to the left or the left to the right.
Will you still love me?
Really, really nice. These subtle things that really just kind of actually round out the instrumentation and the production of the song. That actually, now that I think about it, I kind of take it back. I don't know. I don't think she had a band here with this Japanese cafe performance. It's very simple. It looks like she's maybe even doing karaoke. You know what I mean? So, maybe it was a lot of her songs in Quitter are fairly simple, I would say, but there's a lot of nuance to them. This one is no exception. It's very simple, but it also goes in line perhaps with the performance here that she had in the Japanese cafe. It's just her and a microphone. I don't really see a band, but there might have been a band, but it was probably fairly simple. I don't know. And so the simplicity of the instrumentation for the song about that time in her life, I think, is very consistent and makes sense. But also, even though it's a very simple acoustic song, really at its core, some additional instrumentation here and there, the additional production really brings nuance to it. The actual chord progression of the song is very, very simple. Again, it's the nuance occasionally here and there, and specifically in the chorus. I love how it also aligns with the thing that she's saying. Like, the chord progression is fairly simple. It's fairly harmless, and that's not a degrading term. What I mean is that, it's not the most thought-provoking chord progression. In this part, in the chorus, the chord kind of becomes a little more interesting. It's more eerie. It's more mysterious. A little bit more negative, I would say, right? You can say that. And so it goes in line, though, with what she's saying. So throughout the chorus, she says, "'Cause I wake up and I look around and it breaks my heart to have to doubt. Will you still love me if my luck runs out? Will you still love me if my luck runs out?" And that's all the chord progression is just, as it's going, it's fine, right? She keeps going because the world keeps turning round and round like I'm easy to forget about. Right there. That's when it just that's when the chord changes and we get that interesting chord in that whole progression. And I believe it's the only part in the song where it changes, as far as I'm concerned, I think.
'Cause the world keeps turning round and round like I'm easy to forget about. Will you still love me if my luck...
Let me take my headphones out. Out. Jesus Christ, what's going on? That was such a random decision for me to do, is just take off my headphones. But I feel like I had to do it to kind of just, express myself better and to have more confidence in myself. I don't know why I said that, but maybe because I think I look better without them. So that's the part in there that really makes that chord progression really interesting. And like I said, I don't think any other part in the song that changes. Which is interesting. So I like that it happens there. And it happens specifically, with the lyric, like I'm easy to forget about, so it goes in line with that eerie chord, the chorus is great. The chorus is phenomenal, and I like the layering of it. I like the sort of fragility of it in a way, but it's very impactful, right? Even in its subtlety, even in its sort of lightness. It's a very heavy thing that she's saying, and it's a very heavy burden that she holds, this expectation of herself, and this fear and this anxiety, right? The first verse, she pretty much talks about sort of her state of mind in this point in time in her life, singing at this Japanese cafe. I really like the, too young for whiskey, drunk on potential. That's great. That's fantastic. Great lyric. But then I think it's interesting because she starts with the first verse really kind of setting up the time, it's kind of really transporting us at that time. It almost feels like the song is in that present, in that verse present. But then the chorus comes and she says, "Now I wake up and I look around and it breaks my heart to have to doubt." Now she could say, that could be, I wake up after I performed at the Japanese cafe. It could be present time, it could be, very adult Katelyn Tarver saying I wake up. And because it's her reminiscing, it's her thinking about, but I feel like this is what I'm going to get at here, is that this feeling that she had maybe at this time, when she was at this Japanese cafe at that point in time, I think it's a thing that she's still dealing with today, perhaps. That's what I'm getting at. I may be completely wrong, but that's what I'm getting at. And that chorus could either mean, like I said, I'm waking up now and I'm thinking about all this stuff because I'm thinking about it because I'm thinking about how I felt at the time, when I was younger, and then now it's coming back to haunt me, or it's a thing that she's been living with for her entirety, right? It's great. And then verse 2 definitely solidifies the fact that it's something that she's still dealing with in a way, right? About her looking at another childhood actress and seeing where she ended up and being like, maybe my desire to want to fucking go big and become super famous and become super successful, maybe my focus on it has become too unhealthy, because this person, actress, childhood actress, is doing just fine, even though she became an average normal person, right? I don't know. Maybe she's super happy. Maybe she's happier than me, and I'm over here struggling, trying to make it, and I'm just so depressed in the process. I mean, is it worth it, right? And so she even asks herself, would that person look at my life and feel bad and feel sad for me, So then we get to the chorus, and then we get to the outro, which the outro is the best part. I mean, to me, the best part of this fucking song. It is so fantastic. It is so simple, but the melody of it is so beautiful. It is such a perfect melody for the outro of this song. Love me. Will you love me. That's so beautiful. I mean, it just totally is, along with the chords in the background. I mean, it's just great, and the simplicity of the song, and it's a really, and I love how, like, throughout the entire song, she's very, you know, again, very subtle, very, very, you know, kind of quiet with the whole song, but then that outro, she picks it up a notch, and she really hits those high notes, or higher notes, that is, and it makes that outro even more powerful, because it's almost like she's been leading up to this, right? It's like the climax of the song, even though we've had 2 choruses, but this is the peak of the song, you know? It's great. I love when songs really, at the very end, just kind of fucking throw it all, you know? And that's what this song does here, and it's almost like she's talking about it, she's reminiscing, and then she just can't take it anymore, and just has to fucking say it, you know? Will you still fucking love me, you know? So I'll tell you why I relate to the song, okay? I'll tell you why right off the bat. I mean, I have always dealt with what she's dealing with, even though I've never been a childhood actor. When I was young, I was, you know, in a modeling studio, in an acting studio. I tried to, you know, my dad really tried to do that for me. I performed. I was a you know, singer, you know, in my hometown, where I live. I really performed everywhere, tried to anyways. I sang my ass off for a good number of years in my childhood and I would say early to mid adolescence. And I never got famous, for it or anything like that. Nothing happened, but I'm still sort of trying to pursue what ever since I was young, I have always wanted to become some sort of a celebrity, a superstar of whatever kind. And I've always wanted that, you know, whether it's through singing, whether it's through acting, whether it's through whatever, right? But mainly, you know, singing, I would say. I'm a musician of some kind. But the funny thing is that when I was young, I mean, I did it. But like, I still wanted to be a kid, and I fought with that. And also because my dad wasn't, you know, fucking Joe Jackson. I mean, well, that goes into talking about my dad. I mean, I'm not going to say my dad was perfect. He was not. Because of it, I mean, a lot of it, you know, I don't really have the best relationship with my dad now. We'll just say that. But I mean, he wasn't like Joe Jackson level. And so perhaps if he was Joe Jackson level, maybe I would be somewhere else in my life. That's just a fact, right? But he wasn't, you know, and it is what it is. And I'm not saying he should have or he shouldn't have, you know, I don't fucking know. I'm not going to get into that, right? So I'm here now, right? But I've always had it since I was young. But now more than ever, now that I have more agency, I'm an actual adult, you know, I do want to get to a point where I'm successful in some way, shape, or form, where I'm recognizable, where I am a celebrity. I want that. I do. I mean, I think any of us that is, you know, doing any type of entertainment, I think you want that, at least partly. I am still dealing with the things that she's dealing with right now. You know, her Japanese cafe picture here, I'm just going to put one right here. I'll find one. But that, me right there, is Katelyn Tarver singing at a Japanese cafe. Like, those thoughts of me, you know, had a lot of potential. There's a lot of problems. I was part of the problem too. You know, I wasn't I didn't have the talent of Michael, you know, when he was 5 years old, Michael Jackson. And I didn't have the mentality, you know, that I should have. And I didn't have perhaps the supportive father that I should have to push me and like, it just didn't work out, right? And now I'm here, but I'm still trying to chase that fucking dream, you know, in my own way now. And I'm doing YouTube now, right? And, you know, at the same time, the more and more that I do, you know, just live my life, the more that I just do and enjoy being creative for the sake of being creative and really just being fulfilled by the work that I do, the less and less I care about becoming actually super famous and super successful. And it's really about, at the end of the day, the work that I'm doing. And as long as I'm happy and I have my little niche, I'll be happy. But, the desire for success and all that is never going to go away. And I do still live. I wake up, I fucking open up my fucking eyes every morning, and when I go to sleep, and I'm like, where the fuck am I in my life? Why am I not there? You know? And I feel like, and I do fear this, that no matter how close I get to this dream, and even if I fucking get there too, here's the fucking thing. Even if I get there, if I get there a little bit, if I get a little taste, if I end up like this the rest of my life, if I work, you know, a normal 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life and I have a great family or I'm divorced or whatever, I feel like I will always be unhappy. Like, I'll never be satisfied. And maybe I'll be a little bit more satisfied, maybe I'll be a little less unsatisfied, whatever, but like, I am still always going to have that fucking worm in my head all the time telling me, why don't you have more? Why aren't you more successful? Why aren't you even successful, right? I deal with all those things. And I guess this is where I can transition to this song. At the end of the day, you might not relate to it in the exact way that I do, or the exact way that Katelyn Tarver is, sort of expressing. But everyone has their passion, right? Everyone has the thing that they want to do. And if they think, if I don't get to do that thing, if I don't fulfill that purpose, then will you still love me if my luck runs out? You know what I mean? Like, they are asking themselves that question as much as they're asking the partner that they're with or their family. And that's another thing too, is that she's saying, will you still love me if my luck runs out? I'm dealing with that. Like, that's a dialogue I'm having with myself. When I look at myself in the mirror, is, will you still be happy if you never get your big break? Will you still be satisfied? Will I still love myself? I don't even love myself right now, really. I mean, a little bit, I think, but like, definitely not entirely. And I don't know, there's still a part of me who does not give a fuck. I just want to be successful, Who cares if I love myself or not, right? And I do ask that. I can ask that of my partner. I have thought about that. It's like, what if I fucking just never do anything with my life, But I will say my biggest fear is with myself. And that's the beauty of it is, this whole thing, it's almost as if she's talking to her partner, but like, it could still very much mean her looking at herself in the mirror and asking herself, will you still love me if my luck runs out? To her managers, to her family, right? But most importantly, to herself. But at the end of the day, passion, you know what I mean? You have your passion. And you have your own anxious fear of not fulfilling that passion. Maybe in general of your whole life, of not enjoying your life, of not fulfilling it in some way, shape, or form, and dying and regretting what you did in your life. That's a fucking big fear. I'm not afraid of death. I'm just afraid of not actually living, And then I think the verse 2, I think, is beautiful in the sense of like, chasing this dream is great and all, but like, if it becomes the thing that you solely focus on and you orbit your own happiness over achieving and being successful at this thing, then that can become extremely dangerous. And at that point, it's like your happiness goes out the window, and someone who, you thought was chasing the same dream as yours, who didn't make it, ends up happier than you. And that's also what I'm afraid of too. It's like, fuck, what if I miss out my whole entire life? And what if I miss out my ability to be happy? What if I miss out? Like, what if I do work a 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life? Like, there was a way for me to be happy doing that and actually being satisfied with that life, even though I never achieved my, ultimate dream, my ultimate fantasy. What if there was a way, there is a world out there where I can be happy doing that? And what if, because I'm too busy doing this over here, I completely miss out my ability to be happy, and then it's fucked? And that's a huge fear. Again, it's a fear for life in general and every decision that you make. At least for me, that's what I deal with my life every fucking day. Not only with career, not only with my finances, my success, my personal endeavors, everything, literally everything. Your materials, your family, your partner. You can apply all these things and all these goals to all of those things. It's scary. It's fucked. That's why I love Katelyn Tarver. And in fucking giant truck outside of my house fashion, let me know if you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you liked Japanese Cafe from Katelyn Tarver. Please let me know in the comment section below if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Do you have your own take of the song? Do you hate this song? Let me know. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content. But that's it for me. Go check out this song, Japanese Cafe, Katelyn Tarver, on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, whatevers. That's it for me. Oh, actually, if it's your birthday, happy birthday to you, you beautiful creature. Now that's it for me. You all take care. Stay safe. And until next time, I love you.